Oh god, GTFO again. By far one of the hardest games I've ever played in recent years. So much so I titled it the hardest game I've ever played in my original video from 9 months ago. Now since then, 10 Chambers, the devs behind the brutal experience that is GTFO, has had a few major changes to its formula. For one, it's no longer in early access and is now considered the full version of the game. This comes with Rundown 6.0. For those not in the know, it's basically a new season. It brings with it a whole fresh set of missions to complete alongside with a new shiny weapon or two, and a few other bits, but we'll get into that later. Personally, I love this idea. It keeps the game fresh with the possibility of drip feeding players lore and story each rundown to enhance their experience for dedicated players that continue on with this dreaded experience. All a bunch of lunatics, I tell ya. They're mad, they're crazy. Now just before I started my descent over 12 months ago, 10 Chambers had decided to do something so scary that even their dedicated fans were scared to the core of. GTFO's devs had decided to partner up with Tencent. Now I'm not talking about the loose change floating around in your back pocket, I'm talking about the Chinese company that incorporates insane amounts of microtransactions and loot boxes to the point of being considered unethical. So in conclusion, it's not a company you want to partner up with your favourite game. But it's been over 12 months and that's more than enough time to find out if they've had their grubby little mitten fingers dipped into our pudding. So, the last time I played GTFO, I had an interesting experience to say the least. I'm dead! I'm dead. I'm dead! Dead. It was awkward. I did manage to put up a fight, but inevitably, I had to throw in the towel. And now with Rundown 6.0, I had a score to settle. I had a point to prove. Starting up GTFO, I noticed a few changes right away. Matchmaking had been added, adding bots into lobbies is now a thing, there's a perk system in the game now, and there's also cosmetics. Gimp mask? I kid you not, this is a gimp mask if I've ever seen one. After seeing that cosmetics are now part of the game, I was half expecting to see some microtransactions. But no, we chilling. Yeah. Now, instead of just rocking it old school style and going in as a duo, I thought it would only make sense that we tried out the new matchmaking system. So while we waited for a lobby to fill up, I checked out the new weapons, and instinctively, I opted to use the knife because I'm British and we don't have guns here. And as I watched in dread as my character had a meltdown, look at it, he's forgot his keys again. Oh no, you silly sausage. It was at this moment that all the flashbacks came back to me at once. All the pain. So much pain. I strapped in and dropped into the depths. After taking a moment to enjoy the scenery, oh no, I was back to doing what I do best. Who else wants a piece of me? Opening doors, silently clearing rooms. You're dead. Grabbing loot. Struggling to figure out where we had to go to next. It was all just as intense as I remember. GTFO is more than just the sum of its parts. It brings the existential dread of why the hell am I still here? Something you'll continue to ask yourself after each and every heart-pumping encounter.
Why are we still here?
The idea of alerting a room and being forced to waste that oh so precious ammo is a feeling that still haunts me a year later. I'm gonna smack this big guy. He thinks he's bigger than me? He is! Now up until this point, everything was going pretty smooth. Dropping down turrets to cover our backs while we deactivated alarm doors. It was still hairy, but nothing so soul-crushing that I had experienced so many times before. And I'm not about to tell you that everything went swimmingly. Deaths were less often than before, but still present. I'm dead! But this is where the biggest change to the game has happened. Something that shocked me. Restart from checkpoint. So it turns out green voodoo magic symbols on a door equals a checkpoint. This leaves me very conflicted. One half of me loved the hardcore approach this game was all about, but the other half was so goddamn happy that I didn't have to go and do the whole mission all over again and lose 30 minutes of my life. Anywho, we load back up and continue on when we are suddenly hit with a bit of exposition.
No, you are not the past. You are not what they told you you were.
This is new to me. Bam. Whoa. Nah.
What did you just do?
And before you have time to figure out what just went down, It's time to escape. Clearing out a few waves and waiting for the percentage to climb, I gathered my thoughts and feelings on all that had just occurred before... He killed me! That just team killed me. Strap back in, and down we go. Loading in, we get our first bit of voice interaction. I was shushed. My first thought was this man meant business.
Why are you flashing lights at him?
My second thought was this guy's gonna get us all killed. Turns out I was right. Moments after, casually waiting at a security door for our fourth person to show up so we can do the scan that requires 4 people.
Oh, this guy's just activated it.
So without us all being there to turn off the alarm, an endless amount of monsters spawn. And then we all die.
I'm dead.
With other players being what they are, we decided to go in without them, but instead choosing to play with 2 bots instead. This turns out to be a good idea.
As if we got further using the 2 bots than we did real players.
And after playing with bots for an extended period, to find out that they can see through the fog, they have godlike aim, and they cannot be infected, it's safe to say, bots are good. With this being the case, it wasn't long until I was back to making my own stupid plays.
3, 2, 1. Stand up, he said. Go.
Oh! Long story short, more dialogue,
Frequency modulators.
more desert, weird monsters. Mission complete.
I think we're good. I think we did it.
Fog, poison, shooting, this door.
Run!
Oh no!
Now this is around the time I changed my mind on what I thought about checkpoints, because although it does take the sting out of failing a section, it doesn't make the game any easier.
Dead.
At least in our experience. So we had this death run that involved setting off an alarm, running for our lives, opening a few doors, killing some monsters, and trying to figure out where the we had to go. And after dying on this gauntlet 2 to 3 times, including having checkpoints, it was no easier. We had to call it quits for the night.
It is what it is. That's a GG for today.
Eventually, we managed to clear the mission with no casualties, little casualties.
Someone has to die!
Nah.
Now C1 was a very eventful mission, but if I was to talk about it, we'd be here all day, so I'm gonna give you the short.
See, I walk over here, I do a 180, and if we die, we die. This door's locked! I'm dead. Oh god, what is that face?
Right, lads, GG. All that beautiful ammo!
I've got no bullets. Look at him, he's doing the thing.
Oh, snap. I think we go down, boys.
You first.
Yeah, the knife is out! So there we go. That's Gtfo, a game I really enjoyed and wish I could continue saying nice things about it. But unfortunately, I never got to complete any more missions. After spending a few hours trying to get through the poison and the fog of C2, I ended up calling it early and moving on to D1 in the vain hopes I would be able to see what I was playing.
What is this? There's things in front of me doing the little twerking thing and I can't see him. Okay, he's down there hiding in the smoke. He's bullshit.
Although there is still half a game left to play here, I didn't have the stomach for it, which is a massive shame because the first 4 missions for me was immensely entertaining in a sadistic kind of way. I would have loved to continue playing with the same fair but challenging experience, but instead I get fog and darkness and poison. Fog and dark. I mean, just look at this. It's an absolute joke. Anyways, that's Gtfo. I do recommend the game for anyone who loves a challenge so insane you'll be smashing your head like a crazy person by the end of it. But for everyone else, I guess maybe give this one a miss. After all, it's still the hardest game I've ever played.
Some ninja fighting now. Some Naruto ninja.
Again, anyone who's completed Rundown 6.0, I continue to tip my hat as you are an absolute legend in my eyes for sticking out one of the most brutal gaming experiences out there. If you want to drop a comment in the comment section below so everyone can marvel at your massive giant ballsack, I recommend you do so now. And in my final conclusion, I give Gtfo 4.5 glow sticks in a cupboard and you're poisoned and you're at 20% health. If you're still on the fence about getting this game, here's the original video. But if you've had your fill on all things GTFO, here's a different video of some kind. I'm Monkeymaycry. This has been Monkeymaycrytv. I thank you all for watching, liking, subscribing and all that fun stuff. For the two theoretical people that only exist in my mind out there that are asking where are all Monkeymaycry's videos, well, turns out I had COVID twice and it wasn't a fun experience. But don't worry, I'm back and I'll do better.